Welcome to our weekly update. We're moving through the Easter season, and one of the themes that we keep repeating during the Easter season is the idea that we are looking to be life givers and people of transformation. We are looking for situations that hold people down or drive people down, and seeking to be the people who breathe life and encouragement and human flourishing into those situations. May is Domestic Violence Month, and one of the activities that bubbled up from our Visioning Day was that this community could become more involved in being aware of the effects of domestic and family abuse. To that end, a small committee has formed, and they are in the process of developing ways for us to reflect more deeply on how domestic violence touches our lives, for it touches all of our lives in some way. So that committee has produced a wonderful display that will be in the cathedral for the whole of May. It includes many resources and the opportunity for us to begin to think about how theology and spirituality are caught up in domestic violence. One of the resources that's on display is a poster advertising one of our podcasts with Jess Hill, and in that podcast Jess Hill explores how spirituality and power are connected. As I said a few moments ago, spirituality and theology impact everything that we do in our life and everything that affects our lives. And our spirituality and our theology actually affect our approach to domestic violence, our understanding of domestic violence, and help us to shape our response to domestic violence. One of the things that much of the church has done has concretized the idea of God being male. It really is only meant to be a metaphor, like all the other metaphors that are used for God, such as rock, eagle, spring, and the list goes on. But many parts of the church have concretized the idea of God's maleness, and that has the implication that being male is like being God, and therefore women are derivative and second-rate. That theology has affected even the way we understand the Trinity, and so in some parts of the church the Trinity is seen as a hierarchy, with God the Father up the top, the Son being subordinate to the Father, and the Spirit sort of hovering around the edges. It was a great shift in theology as the male culture became more and more deeply enshrined, and it replaced images of the Trinity which in the earlier times were more horizontal, with three figures standing side by side, three equal persons. And so we need to think deeply about our theology and our spirituality as we consider domestic violence, because if we have that understanding of God in the background, then it will shape how we understand human relationships, and it will shape and affect the way we respond. And so in this Domestic Violence Month, I'm hoping that we will reflect more deeply on our images of God and how those images affect our understanding of each other. And here at the Cathedral we will draw Domestic Violence Awareness Month to a close with a service at Evensong on Sunday the 30th of May. More details of that service will be published in the next couple of weeks. On Sunday night, a really significant project comes to fruition. A small group of people have been working really hard on bringing together an exhibition that looks at and celebrates the ministry of women over the last 150 years or so. So in the cathedral there will be a physical display, quite a small display, but it will be a taster for a much larger exhibition which is online, and you'll be able to see on the cathedral website from tomorrow, Friday. It's an absolutely fantastic exhibition, and I'm so grateful to Gwyneth, Lynn, Kate and Chrissia for the work that they have put into bringing that work to pass, and also to Sarah, who helped me get the content on to the cathedral webpage. So look out for the link to the women's exhibition, which will become live tomorrow. And on Sunday evening, Dame Quentin Bryce will join us after Evensong to formally launch the exhibition. So I hope you'll come along to that and support this incredibly important exhibition in the life of the church. Sunday is also the Feast of St. John. St. John is our patron, so Sunday is one of our party days. And so to that end, we'll enjoy morning tea together at both the 7:30 and the 9:30 service. So do come along and celebrate the gift of this community, and please do stay for morning tea so that we can enjoy the gift of fellowship with one another. On Sunday afternoon, our journey group meets. It's an opportunity to reflect on how faith and life intersect. It's carried out on Zoom. Because Zoom provides us with the opportunity of meeting together even when we're physically apart. And this Sunday, the Journey Group will be exploring how we can reflect on the Gospel for the day by asking 3 questions. Questions that ask us to look at how the Gospel is speaking to us, how it touches our lives, and reflecting on what the Gospel invites us to do and to be. Copies of monthly notices for May are available here in the cathedral if you want a hard copy. It's also available on the community page of the website if you'd like to download it. There's a new episode of the podcast available. This one features Barbara Brown-Taylor, an author who's had a profound effect on my life and spirituality over many, many years. She was an absolute delight to speak with, incredibly generous and humble. And in this podcast, she looks at the idea of holy envy. It's an amazing concept. And I hope just the very term, holy envy, whets your appetite. And if you haven't had an opportunity to explore our podcasts in the past, you might like to start with this one. It's a really, really good episode. On Saturday morning, it's our privilege to welcome the United Nations Association young professionals as they come to use this sacred place for yoga. The group is hosted by Ananda, one of our own, who is passionate about refugees. And so the UN young professionals donate the money that they raise by giving a contribution to come to be in this place. That money goes to support the work of the Romero Centre. And so we come to the celebration of birthdays. There are a lot of celebrations this week. Happy birthday to Norma Kleinschmidt, to Gwen Warhurst, Judy Fay, Andrew Karpenko, Andrei Kuznetsov and Miriam Kernke. On Thursday of next week we will have a Eucharist to celebrate Ascension Day. The celebration of Ascension Day reminds us that we are getting close to the end of the Easter season. And it's one of the few times this year we will have a weekday evening Eucharist. Choral Eucharist, beautiful music, incredible opportunity to enjoy this sacred place as the evening unfolds. So please put in your diaries to be with us in person on Ascension Day. Thank you for all you do to support the life of the cathedral community. We are very, very appreciative that people have continued to support ministry through their offerings. You'll find in community notices, community billboard, which offers ministry opportunities often to be here in this place or on the precinct, being part of our gathered life outside acts of worship. So please have a look at that in community notices, and thank you for the contribution you make to the cathedral community. Peace be with you.